Network, where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise awakening, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken in life. Rise awakening, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
Feel the hum beneath your skin, a pulse of light, let it begin. The night dissolves, the day will spin. Rise awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken and climb. Rise awakenings, now is the time. Echoes bloom, they bend and glide. A signal surging deep inside. From shadows grip, we rise and rise. Tune the whispers, find your way. Tomorrow starts with sound today. Rise awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken and climb. Rise awakenings, now is the time. It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
Other day, gotta clean, get to work, traffic sucks, remember when, wish I had it, how'd I let it,
it's so bad. Brush it off, stack it up, can't face it now. Gotta stay tough, clutter building inside, clogging up the outside. Gotta face it, gotta clear it, but I don't know where to start, because my spirit feels broken, my mind is scattered, the body is tired, too much is mattered. All of my senses carry too much, cluttered in pieces I don't wanna touch. Wanna sort it out, let the clarity in, marry all my senses, where do I begin? Dishes, laundry, dust and grime, stacking up, piling up, never enough time. Pushing, pulling in a tug of war. When will I get back to how it was before? Gotta take a pause, gotta find a breath, slow the spinning down, move away from death. Separate, clarify, sort, sift, junk, keep, answer who am I, but I don't know, because my spirit feels broken, my mind is scattered, the body is tired, too much has mattered. All of my senses carry too much, cluttered in pieces I don't wanna touch. Wanna sort it out, let the clarity in, marry all my senses, where do I begin? Living in the clutter of a broken heart, the body, mind and spirit all play their own part, bringing them together, not really torn apart. Stop, breathe, calm, relax, this is where to start. When my spirit felt broken, my mind was scattered, the body was tired, too much had mattered. All of my senses carry too much, cluttered in pieces I didn't wanna touch. I can sort it out, let the clarity in, marry all my senses, here's where I begin. Here's where I begin. Marry all my senses. That's where I begin.
Welcome to Phoenix Talks.
That song was fire. So cool. Wow.
Yeah. I had fun putting that one together. It was a task, a little scattered in the thoughts, to put it together. But yeah,
Very appropriate then.
I know, right? So this week, you heard the song "Marry All My Senses." What does that mean? Well,
We were
Diane
talking
presented
about decluttering.
yeah.
Yes. And how we can declutter. I think we want to share how we can declutter. We've talked about this kind of stuff like in bits and pieces in different topics that we've covered.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we've hyper focused on clutter specifically.
No.
Okay. So our mind is really, really cluttered when we're going through stuff, right? As the song made clear to us. So our mind and our hearts are going to be reflected in our outer world. So what does your outer world look like? Is your outer world cluttered also? And that could simply mean like even things are out of place and you haven't, been able to keep up with certain things or whatever. And this isn't a shame thing.
Oh,
Don't
no.
go down that road.
No,
Do not go down that road. This
We
is
all.
right. This is
I know both of us have
identifying-
had extremely jam-packed days, so we're both coming into the show about
Right.
the topic and
Right.
basically working in real time to declutter so that we can bring you the topic.
That's what I spent most of the day doing today for myself, honestly. So the reason why I say what's in here ends up out there, but then what's out there affects what's in here. So it like keeps it going.
Yeah,
And so
definitely.
that's why I'm talking about it, so that we can identify for ourselves, okay, when is it that I just don't feel like it and I don't have the energy and who cares? And when is it, uh-oh, something's off with me? So let's talk about that because this is a real thing for us, right?
It really is. It really is.
It's a real thing for all of us. And that's a reality of life that people don't like to talk about because there's shame involved, which is why I said, nah, but that this has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with our capacity and our clarity. When we're so cluttered up here, it expresses in our outer world, and then in that outer world expresses it back internally, and it makes it worse. So let's talk about what decluttering in your physical world looks, acts, and feels like, starting with what we're listening to and what we're seeing. How many people think about what it is that they're watching? What are you programming and conditioning your brain and your heart to feel and think by what you're inputting? Are you listening to loving and empowering songs like Michka creates or Justin creates? Or are you listening to murder, death, kill? What are we listening to? What are we watching on TV and on videos? Is our algorithm set to micro education, or is our algorithm set to people getting hurt and bad things happening? This affects our nervous system. So the first piece that we have to focus on in decluttering is decluttering what it is that we're watching. You're adding that lower vibrational energy and clutter energy into your nervous system with the lower vibrational stuff that you watch. Listen, I loved horror films.
Same.
I loved horror films, but I recognized the reality of how it was affecting my nervous system and how much better I felt when I stopped watching those energies.
And it's interesting that you bring that up, because one of the things that I noticed specifically about horror films, especially because of the type of work that I do, unintentionally, I mean, the creators of these films don't realize what they do in many cases. And, I can understand why religious leaders would be like, please don't watch those because it's bringing these entities into your house. Guess what? They're not wrong. And then you wind up with the clutter of, where did this come from?
The fear. You're taking on all the fear that it's getting programmed into you with what you're listening to and what you're watching. That's going to clutter your head big time with all those negative thought patterns and negative belief systems, and it's going to keep you energy stuck and sabotage your journey. So that's why I think it's important right now, especially with this new moon energy and all this new beginnings and end of old karmic cycles. Let's start with decluttering.
And it's interesting, Polly Jammers, while the song was playing, she was like, how the heck did this song peek through my house? Excuse me? Well, if that song made you look around your house, that's affecting here.
Yeah. Yes. We all go through phases, especially when we're not feeling well. This isn't about that. This is about recognizing when your exterior is a reflection of what's going on and how you got to help yourself in here. So we know we start with the decluttering of what we listen to and what we watch and program ourselves with. Okay. So we have to shift what that is and put healthier stuff.
Right.
Like I like G movies and PG movies now because I don't want murder, death, kill. On occasion, I'll indulge myself in like an Avengers flick. Okay. But that's as much excitement as I want in that vibration. So what I wanted to bring up.
I do like what she just said, though.
I was going to, I'm watching it too. Read it.
I feel it, Polly Jammers in the chat. I think it's too long to put on the screen,
Okay.
but if I feel it is necessary to take an element of levity when you dance with the darkness, i.e. horror films, death, kill type of things. While it is essential to understand how things affect us, we must also learn to be the masters of our own mindset. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
If you can watch those movies and it's pure entertainment and you're not allowing it to clog up your mind and your spirit, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. But if you are starting to notice things in your mindset shifting, in your behavior patterns shifting as a result of what you're watching and what you're feeding your psyche with,
Mm-hmm.
then we need to have that conversation.
Yeah. This is all a discernment thing. You have to know what you have to pay attention to how you feel. So it's almost like when you're allergic to things and you have to try things separately to see what's causing the issue. This is kind of like when you're decluttering, my recommendation is to do one thing at a time and
Yeah.
see how you feel afterwards. Not do it anymore for a week and see how you feel the following week. And ask yourself, check in with your nervous system and your body, ask yourself what your mindset would like over the week of not having that in your space. And just see what you feel like with each thing that you're experimenting with.
Yeah.
Yes, excursions are great. We love excursions. I wanted
And
to.
right now, while we're on what you watch, right now, it is prime to be very careful about what you watch, especially as you're doom scrolling or just scrolling, whether you're doom or not. But the people that you pay attention to the most, is the information that you're receiving helpful? Is it changing your mindset? Is it causing a physiological? Remember, this is body, mind, spirit decluttering as well as a physical.
Mm-hmm.
But is it causing your blood pressure to rise? Is it causing anger? Is it causing rage? Is it causing fear? What is it cause? Notice which ones I'm focusing on and not. Because what we're seeing a lot of right now, unless it's intentional otherwise, is what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the opinions and fact checks and the fact points that are being presented to us.
Yeah.
And not knowing. And yeah, is
It was
there cause
draining me.
for concern?
Stop.
Is there cause for
Stop.
concern? Yeah. Is there cause for concern? Yes. Is there need for many people to be aware of what's going on? Yes. So that they can inform and educate other people.
Right.
That's the point. Educate and inform.
I just point people in a direction of who to follow because I know what's happening in the world. I don't want all the details. It's the details to me are not what I need right now. And if I do need to know, then I'll find out. But if I don't need to know, I'm not going to know. I already know what it feels like, and I don't need to go any further about the physical details of it.
Yeah.
So I stopped. I got off. I had to get off that train myself.
If anybody watching needs a where should I look suggestion, I'm keeping track.
He's got a list. And it's solid information.
Yeah.
So back into the physical world, I wanted to talk about the physical world and how to know the difference between what's okay, I'm not feeling well, or I got too busy or whatever, everyday normal stuff. And what's, oh my goodness, I'm in trouble. How can I help myself? So I have a stabilizer because, every day happens and I don't necessarily have time to do X, Y, and Z, or the mental capacity or physical capacity to do it. Because, when there's chronic illness issues that you're healing from, one day to the next could vary. Right. So there's grace and compassion for it all. However, I know I'm in trouble when I start losing stuff and spending way too much time trying to look for stuff. That's one indicator for me. I have a stabilizer space, which is my medicine cabinet in the bathroom. If that isn't showroom quality ready at all times, I know I'm off. Like, so I have something specific in the house. So maybe for you, it's something on the corner of the house that's display or whatever. Just there's something that you need to use every day that's there for you to stabilize you. So you know if that's, so I know if something's off in my medicine cabinet, and if it's consistently off in my medicine cabinet, I know I'm not okay. And I need to check in and do the whole reflection, reevaluation, and redirection thing. So like, I think it's important to just mention these little daily things that we don't really talk about, and to help ourselves notice ourselves and get to know ourselves and recognize what our parameters are and how to catch ourselves before we go spiraling too far. We can help ourselves with little things like a little cabinet that I have, or just little things that you know about yourself when you're in need of decluttering.
Yeah.
And so then I can give myself, okay, well, Diane, set the timer for 10 minutes and go. Whatever you do, you do. Whatever you don't, you don't. Period. No pressure. That's it. So I offer those suggestions to try on, to identify when it is that you're recognizing your outer space is too cluttered.
Right.
When you've already decluttered what you're watching, what you're seeing, and all that jazz. You know, now we can hop into the mental part of this.
How's that stack of books in the corner? How's that stack of bills on the counter? How's your table look? Did you put the dishes away after you ate last night, or did you just leave them on the table, walk away? If you are finding yourself just leaving things somewhere because you're too tired to put them away, I don't care. Or you just simply forget, and then you walk up a little while later. God, did I not put that in? These are indicators that you're a little cluttered in the mind. And continuing to just pile things up, pile things up, pile things up, it's going to affect your ability to think. It's going to affect your energy levels, because your subconscious is going to be trying to filter those things out from its attention. Because here's a fun fact that I've been waiting a while to share on this show, and I don't think that I have. Do you know that your brain, your subconscious, filters out 4.4 million pieces of stimuli a second? Let that sink in.
That's a lot.
Just my mentioning that, and I can feel the clutter and the what, especially in this setting, knowing that that's what it's trying to filter out. What do I listen to? What do I look at? What do I pay attention to? Is that person talking about me? What's on TV?
And how is it making me all feel?
Right.
It's a lot. And
It is a lot when it's filtered, but
yes,
the brain is working to filter all of these stimuli so that you can have the 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day,
right.
90% of which you're not aware of.
So I think that an important reminder to help you with clarity is always practicing that conscious awareness. What thoughts am I like? What is this thought that's coming up? Analyze it, think about it, just check in with your brain consciously. Listen to yourself and listen to see if that really resonates with you or not. It's a conscious thing. It's a conscious effort and intentional. That's definitely going to help you get rid of the clutter, and help you manage intrusive thoughts that pop up for you, help you decide what to implement in the moment that's a lot healthier. It gives you an opportunity to implement compassion in a lot of circumstances. So the decluttering in the brain is part of the rewiring.
Yeah. And if it's trained to pay attention to all the negative stimuli,
Mm-hmm. Right.
If it's
Right.
trained to, oh, well, I'll get to that later. And then it's not trained or shown. Let's not make it sound military.
I know, right?
But if it's not shown that it can declutter, that it can sort through, but I mean, in that one section of the song, there's a reason that I repeated those words: jump, sort, sift, keep.
Hmm.
Think of it as literally going through the things as they come up.
So let's talk about why, because we're scanning for safety continuously and nonstop scanning for safety.
Yeah, especially
So
if you have a trauma bond.
yeah, there's, trauma behind a lot of cluttered thinking and cluttered period. So
Yeah.
so thank you, polyjammers. That's fantastic.
That's
Let's
awesome.
remember.
I've trained my brain to practice positive reframing at 180 frames per second. That's oddly
fabulous.
specific.
Listen, I'm good with it. I'm neurospicy. I understand that. Well, I mean, that's the thing. When we slow ourselves down and analyze everything that we're thinking, not to I'm not talking about overthinking or ruminating.
No.
I'm talking about productive. How do I really feel about this? Does this resonate with me? Why do I feel this way? Where is this coming from? Productive stuff. And if you don't have any of those answers, that's also fine, because part of the analytics is also deciding, okay, I understand it's making me feel like this. Is this appropriate for this environment, for this circumstance, for these people? Or is it just remembering something? Am I hearing with the unhealed ears, or am I listening at the reality that's right in front of me? So anyone who is still feeling kind of traumatized and still needs to work through some stuff may actually be hearing rejection sometimes, instead of a place of love that the person is trying to give you. So another way that we clutter our mind is by holding on to those old mindsets, instead of stopping ourselves and pausing ourselves and deciding in that moment, maybe it's not appropriate to feel this way, so let me evaluate this circumstance. That's a way to help us trust ourselves more, which will help us clear this. This becomes a lot clearer when we trust ourselves. I'm tying it all together. Trust yourself more, and that will help to declutter everything. A lot of it is hanging on to what feels safe and looking for safety at the same time.
Yep.
Bubble kittens can't find her glasses.
And you brought in an interesting thought while you were saying all that, because a lot of times a text, a message from somebody will set you off. That wasn't intended to set you off. It was just being direct. If you get set off, ask clarifier before you react.
Mm-hmm.
Clarify.
Yes.
I know I had to learn that. And had I learned it sooner, you know how many arguments I'd have been able to not have?
Yeah. Never make assumptions. That adds a lot more clutter. Clutter accumulates when we make assumptions. You can't go on what it is that you think, because you're projecting. First, find out with context the intention. You need context and intention. And you also need to learn the person, because maybe you're dealing with a jerk who really is gaslighting you and making a mess of things and is chaos itself. So that's why your clarity is important. That's why pausing yourself for that clarity is important, because otherwise that response that you're going to have is going to be based on someone that doesn't exist in the future. You know, like,
Now, if you make an assumption about something that you read or heard, and you have the 60 to 180 frames per second that you have to sift through, okay, which are you going to have more frames to sift through if you start to make an assumption based on knowing something directly?
mhm. It's a lot of extra work. I learned long ago that it is a lot of extra work to make an assumption, that I can only speculate and project my speculation onto a circumstance or a person's intentions. And 9 times out of 10, it's coming from my limitations. So how can that be appropriate? It's so much less work and so much more peaceful and clear to just go straight to the horse's mouth and receive the information direct. And it's okay to ask for clarifiers. A lot of us in trauma grew up knowing that don't you dare ask questions. That's talking back and that's questioning authority. Don't you dare question authority. So there's there's a lack of safety that's associated with asking clarifying questions. This is where you got to trust yourself, know that you're safe, and context. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to someone who you really don't need to be wasting your time with because you already know they're not good news? Or is it somebody who is made you feel safe and is kind, and you want to give a chance to see what they're like? Give it a minute and maybe allow yourself to feel safe or to learn what healthy intentions sound like.
Yeah. And if you ask the clarifying question and it proves your initial response correct, well, don't listen to a fucking thing we just said.
Mhm.
That's simple. I want to make sure that point got driven.
Mm-hmm. So we know about the physical clutter, right? Because that happens in all kinds of ways. And also declutter your space every 6 months, because shit accumulates naturally. It's like, where the heck did this come from? How did I get? Don't we all ask these questions when we look around sometimes? Where did this? So it's okay to like thin out the herd every 6 months or so. That's reasonable. Or once a year, whatever. Do that for yourself. The mental aspects is just making sure that you have clarity. If there's something that you need to ask and that you're not sure what to ask, sit with it for a minute and let yourself walk through what it is that's coming up for you to analyze. Because sometimes you might start with, well, they're not doing enough of this for me. And it might turn into, when you walk it back and walk it into yourself, and it might turn into, oh, wait a minute, something here doesn't resonate with me, and this is what I actually need. I didn't ask for that. Maybe I need to ask for that instead. So you declutter already before you approach the person so that they can add clarity for you that's appropriate and necessary, not
Yeah.
create strife between you because you're reacting. So that mental clarity is mucho important. Let's talk about the emotional clutter. Wait, most people know it as emotional baggage.
Let's just call it what it is.
Poop.
Let's just call it what it is.
How many of us are still carrying around guilt and shame and resentment and impatience and all kinds of juicy, unhealthy?
I'm sorry. I'm to the viewing audience. I'm terribly sorry. Am I giving you the papa stare now? Am I looking directly at you and into your spirit and seeing all the shit you carry? Perhaps.
Yeah.
You know, this is why I'm so against toxic positive. Because when you go into the toxic positive, you're just adding more clutter to the shit that you're trying to get rid of.
Yes. You're just slathering icing on top of the shit.
Yep. You know, when I was growing up, I would always time, unbeknownst to me, I would always time some of my worst behavior as a child with the days that my mother decided she was going to make liver and onions.
Yeah.
I can't stand the taste of liver and onions. And I used to try and slather that with French's mustard, and it had to be French's. It could not be anything but at the time. Now I can't really stand. But anyway, it didn't help.
No, I'm sure it didn't. Probably
No.
made it worse a little bit.
It didn't make it worse, but it didn't take the taste away.
Anyway,
I could still taste,
mustard and liver.
but now separately.
Ew.
So when you enter into toxic positive mindsets immediately, does it help? Sure. But you're sugarcoating shit
Mm-hmm.
because you're not actually releasing the clutter that's buried in your body, affecting your mind, causing the emotions to stay attached and bouncing back and forth between the mind and the emotions and the toxins in the body. Oh, gee, why do I have cancer in that really odd place? I don't know.
Right. Our trauma gets trapped in our bodies too, so that's the big issue. Isn't it?
And being an interesting empath, which finally managed to turn this off, I could feel and taste stress from slaughter
Oh,
in meat.
wow. Yeah, that's not fun.
And that proved to me,
Mm-hmm.
because I could distinguish the feeling and the taste
Mm-hmm.
of stressed meat.
Yeah. Wow.
And you probably know the difference too, you just haven't tracked it. Toughness, that's part of it. Yeah, toughness. So when you have these cortisol attacks, the clutter storms.
Yeah. Right. The clutter of cortisol. Cortisol clutter.
Yeah,
Yes. Your body is cluttered with that. It compounds all of the ailments within. Hence, a lot of us healing from chronic illness.
yeah.
That's all the emotional baggage that we've been carrying. So if you release nothing else, at least release the idea that all of that baggage is yours to carry. It's not, it never was. You were convinced that it was yours. You were convinced that you had to deal with it. That was a lie. De-gaslight and deprogram yourself from the belief that you are responsible for all of that baggage, because you're not. And if you when you start to say, yeah, but what about when I did this and when I did that? Again, what you think, say, and do in survival mode is exactly what you needed to think, say, and do in order to move yourself to where you are today. There is no shame in it.
Yeah.
No judgment in it.
None.
So judgment should be the first thing you throw in that trash and release. Okay? Stop carrying around baggage. Stop projecting the insecurities that were projected at you by someone else, because you're taking that with you and you're still perceiving the world in that light if you're continuing to carry some emotional baggage. Okay, like I said before, you're going to hear rejection when someone's trying to be loving.
I want to share something that came out during a reading last night when I was live on Twitch. I had a popcorn moment. I was doing a reading and the person received the big medicine wheel from the Vision Quest Tarot. It's similar to the World card in the traditional tarot, and it's a different way to look at now. So whether it's in the past, whether it's now, whether it's in the near present, or it's in the future, it's all interconnected and interwoven. One is not higher than the other. That's why it's all now.
Mhm.
Because once you reach the future, it becomes now. Once you remember the past, it becomes now. That was a wild revelation to me.
Everything is now.
Everything is now. If you're thinking about the past, it's now. If you're thinking about the future, it's now.
Mhm.
Once you get to the future, it's now.
Right. And the reality is the past no longer exists and the future hasn't happened yet. So all you have is now. Are you spending it in the future and in the past? Or are you spending it here and now? Are you checking in with yourself here and now? That is one of the fastest ways to declutter is to be present. Be present with yourself, being mindful of your thoughts, giving yourself an opportunity to shift into something that is healthy for you and productive for you overall.
And not saying, sorry, Cindy, calling you out, and not saying, oh, 42 years of survival mode, dagnabbit. Don't do that to yourself. Don't
42 years of training, spiritual training, spiritual boot camp.
Damn, I just experienced all of these years to discover who it is that I don't want to be.
Right.
Change it. Reframe it. Because by adding shame, by adding guilt, by adding resentment to whatever it is that comes up in that cluttered body, spirit, mind, it's just going to keep it locked in. Are you still going to experience life? Are you still going to have those moments where, oh God, I've been through this before. Why am I experiencing it? Are you going to have those moments? Oh, 100%, please. Yes, you will. But if you don't have all the clutter around it, from the assumptions that have been made, from the images that you've painted, from looking at everything through the old eyes, once you start decluttering that in real time, when it comes up, do it in real time. Don't try and do it outside of it. Because doing it outside of it, squirrel. You're just going to squirrel. But in real time, all right, I've experienced this before. I don't need to feel this way right now because this has nothing to do with that. Sort and sift. That's what it means. Sort and sift. What are you going to keep? What are you going to hold on to? Is this an experience that you enjoy having? Okay, well, continue to enjoy it. If it's an experience that you don't enjoy having, don't enjoy it. Move away from that experience.
Yeah. I know that when you move away from those experiences, the clarity comes in. You need to move away from those experiences in order for the clarity to come in. The emotional clutter will leave as you process, and you finish it with gratitude for that understanding and for that knowing, and move on. You thank yourself for the experience for you to learn, and you move on. You can't hang on to that stuff and keep it dragging. You can't. The reason why you can't do that, or why I'm saying you know, don't do that, because you're going to bleed on people that didn't cut you. You're going to project that pain onto everything in your situation. And a lot of us came out of dangerous situations. How many of us still go like this? How many people are still looking over their shoulder from time to time when something gives them that, okay? Are we at a place where we're still doing that? That's clutter. That's emotional baggage clutter. Sneaky, isn't it?
It's some sneaky shit.
What fears are we clinging on to? Yep, bubble kittens. So when we're in that state of awareness, that conscious awareness of self, and we're being mindful of what we're thinking and how we're feeling, we pause ourselves when we feel, wait, why did I just flinch? What was there to flinch about? What did that remind me of?
Right. And like Polly Jammer said that she does when she drives, looking over her shoulder. I can totally relate to that, but for reasons that I can't express here. But there are still times to this day that I have, why are you following so close? Are you going to turn? I got it. And I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, they turned. Onward and forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And we do get jumpy sometimes, right? We get startled. Being startled is like, okay, we're being alerted to something because we were in our Zen zone and like we got pulled out of it. Being startled is one thing, but flinching is a nervous system response in trauma. And I'm not talking about the whole flinching when somebody's about to hit you. That's not what I'm talking about.
It's a jolt to the system that you
I'm
weren't
talking
expecting.
about, right. I mean, even if like, let's say you're at the grocery store and somebody wants to let you know you dropped something, so they gently touch your shirt and you go like this, right? How many of you trauma survivors have done that in the past? Think about that.
I know many who have.
That's the emotional baggage that we need to release. So all of these steps, mind, body, spirit, and when I say body, I'm talking about everything in this earthly plane. And we didn't even get to talk about yet, like what goes into our body, the clutter that we add to our body, especially when there's chronic illness healing happening from cortisol clutter for decades, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of times we put a lot of stuff into our bodies that we know are not going to help us in our healing journey, but we do it anyway because the rest of the things aren't working. There's too many gears in the wheels. I mean, too many wrenches in the gears of our, wheels that are trying to spin. So we have to take the wrenches out and start putting oil in there where it belongs so that we can nourish our physical body, clean everything outside of us, what we're watching, what we're listening to, or space. And it's not, I'm not talking about it's got to be like, spotless and sterilized. That's not what I'm talking about.
No.
What I want you to pay attention to is how you feel in your space. Do you feel peaceful in your space? Do you feel at ease in your space? I don't care what you have in it. Does it bring your nervous system into a safe feeling? If it doesn't, something's off with you. Okay? Wow, there's a lot going on here. Yay. I love it.
And here's something that a lot of people won't talk about or tell you when it comes to knowing about the toxins that are in the foods, especially in the United States. Yes, I will call that out on a recorded line because the United States food production industry needs a freaking wake-up call and catch up to the rest of the world so that we can become healthier.
Yes. There is a list of foods that are illegal in certain countries. Y'all can look it up and choose not to purchase those things anymore.
But now that that's said, let me add something that a lot of people won't tell you. And this isn't to make you feel better about eating it or to give you permission to continue eating it. But sometimes having the knowledge about what's in it gives it the power.
The less
Let that
ingredients, the
sink
better.
in.
What was that?
I said, let that sink in.
Yeah.
The more knowledge that we have about what's in something, the more power we can give to it. Because all of a sudden, once we know what we're putting into our body, okay, well, I know what this is going to do to me. All right, let's just keep. If you're going to eat it, eat it. If you're going to drink it, drink it.
Bubble
I mean,
kittens.
that's extra clutter.
It is.
I don't know exactly why that came in, and I'm sure it's arguable
It needed to.
scientifically, but energetically, since we are talking also about the spiritual clutter, well, spiritual clutter has energy too.
It sure does. And Bubble Kittens is asking, how do you detox and declutter your soul/spirit? So all of the things that we talk about is how you can help your soul/spirit declutter. There's also spiritual tools to use. You can use crystals. You can use all kinds of nervous system regulation, tapping. There's cranial sacral exercises we can do to reset ourselves in certain ways. Just expand your knowledge on what's available to you out there. I like to cleanse with Palo Santo or selenite. There's things that we can do for ourselves that help us maintain our healthiness, starting with loving ourselves. The deeper you love yourself and deeper you expand that definition of what love is toward yourself, the more your soul and spirit become really decluttered and clear. Okay. Reiki is another great tool. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I love it. It's great energy.
Earthing.
No, you wouldn't, Bubble Kittens. Is that a challenge?
I'm gonna prove it wrong. Girl. But earthing is another way to help to declutter.
Yes. Yes. Get
And
grounded.
there's an amazing video on YouTube that you can watch that's all about earthing. Look it up. It's just amazing.
Yes.
What you can do, and you don't have to go barefoot in the winter. You can get earthing mats or grounding mats for that.
So Bubble
Yeah.
Kittens, you said you crack crystals from the inside out and drain the colors. They're doing their job. They're helping. They're doing their job. That's great. You can retire them if you wish and give them back to Mother Nature, put them into a river, I don't know, whatever. You could bury them if you want, or you can just keep them for yourself. That's whatever. Just they've done their job. They're doing their job. That's okay.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, if
all
they
good.
crack, they took a hit for you
Yeah, that's
from
fine.
from an energetic attack.
Yep, that's validation that they're doing their job. Yes.
I'm wearing this stone to protect me. Why did it crack?
Because you're being protected. It's working.
I'm using this stone to help my blood flow, and it cracked. No.
It's Bubble Kittens. As far as crystals go, because that's a whole nother conversation.
It really is.
Right. Just do some research because there's so much information out there. Go on YouTube and look up and take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Just understand that they help us declutter ourselves as well, especially the grounding ones, especially the ones that are made specifically for mind clarity and for what's the word I'm looking for? Evolution, transformation.
Right. The cracking of a crystal typically means that it took a hit.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't directly using it, if a crystal cracks and you had set it for an intention and you come back and you find it cracked, it took on too much all at once, did its job, and prevented you from receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in the last couple minutes, I think that something else that Bubble Kittens was trying to point to when it comes to cleaning the spirit and decluttering the spirit is the karmic aspect of it that we bring in when we're born from our genetics, from our family, and what we absorb throughout our life from our direct family. As you notice things, patterns, you start to recognize, okay, well, this always happened. What I'm going through was always happening to them. Okay, this is a pattern. You can shift it by doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally one of the easiest steps. I mean, we could probably spend another show on it.
And that's how you declutter, though. You have to take in the intentional actions towards your healing and towards doing things differently.
Right.
So with those intentional actions, you will declutter. You've got a lot of homework to do. I shouldn't call it homework anymore. One of my clients called me out on that because I triggered her, which is what I'm supposed to do. But at the end of the day, I think she's right. I think I need to stop calling it homework. I don't like homework.
A task for you, should you choose to accept it.
There you go. Like Mission Impossible. That sounds a lot more fun.
Right? Here's a fire for you to light should you grab the match.
Yes. Speaking
How's
of
that?
fire, Google what that means. Google the spiritual significance of that. Whoever's looking at blue fire in their dreams. Just Google everything.
And looking at the time, and speaking of fire,
It's
I
time.
think I should tease everybody with Embers of Light.
Yes.
This is something that was put together just today. This is the new link.bio for all things Rise Radio Network.
I'm so excited.
It has my links, Lunaria's links, Rev D's links, links to wherever we are live, wherever we have recordings. It has our Facebook groups. It has it all.
I'm super excited about this. I'm always looking for the links.
And the only reason, I was going to wait until next week, but one of the only reasons that I'm presenting this now is because the brand new Embers of Light YouTube is live. But in order for us to use it to go live, we need everyone to subscribe to it, because it won't let us subscribe until we have a certain number of followers. So get over there. And also, we're going to be siphoning Twitch shows, with the exception. No. I can do Messengers and Brindle's Vision. Brindle's Vision and Messengers will not be live on Embers of Light once we go live on that, because of copyright problems with that. So that will continue where they are on YouTube. But all shows will now be in one spot starting next week, and that will be the Rise Radio Networks on Twitch.
And Lunaria said it's Embers of Light 111 is the YouTube channel.
The link is in the QR code. If you can't scan the QR code, that's okay. It is in the description below on YouTube, so you can click it there. Plus, be expecting some invites to the Facebook page soon.
Yay! That's so exciting.
So if you want to connect, I almost said a different word, but if you want to connect with any one of us, to work with any of us individually, all of our links are on that one QR code. So I don't even have to show them all anymore, right?
Yay!
But I do need to make it go away. All right. Wow.
What a great show.
What an amazing show. What an amazing topic. Can't wait to see what we talk about next week and what song I get to write about.
Tag, you're it.
I don't know if you want it right now, but I actually almost started writing a song yesterday, but fortunately I can't remember what it was about. But yes.
It'll come.
And going to play the song one more time. The request to put this on your playlist, well, I'm going to post in the chat right now
Yes.
where you can get the full Phoenix Talks playlist on my Suno.
Beautiful.
So you can listen to all of the songs I've created so far for the show. And
Mwah.
I'm going to play it one more time. Marry All My Senses. Love yourselves. And we'll see you again in the morning at 11 a.m. right back here.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, today, yesterday, the other day, gotta clean, get to work, traffic sucks, remember when, wish I had it, how'd I let it get so bad, brush it off, stack it up, can't face it now, gotta stay tough, clutter building inside, clogging up the outside, gotta face it, gotta clear it, but I don't know where to start, because my spirit feels broken, my mind is scattered, the body is tired, too much is mattered, all of my senses carry too much, cluttered in pieces, I don't wanna touch, wanna sort it out, let the clarity in, marry all my senses, where do I begin? Dishes, laundry, dust and grime, stacking up, piling up, never enough time, pushing, pulling in a tug of war, when will I get back to how it was before? Gotta take a pause, gotta find a breath, slow the spinning down, move away from death, separate, clarify, sort, sift, junk, keep, answer who am I, but I don't know, because my spirit feels broken, my mind is scattered, the body is tired, too much has mattered, all of my senses carry too much, cluttered in pieces, I don't wanna touch, wanna sort it out, let the clarity in, marry all my senses, where do I begin? Living in the clutter of a broken heart, the body, mind, and spirit all play their own part, bringing them together, not really torn apart. Stop, breathe, calm, relax, this is where to start. When my spirit felt broken, my mind was scattered, the body was tired, too much had mattered, all of my senses carry too much, cluttered in pieces I didn't wanna touch, I can sort it out, let the clarity in, marry all my senses, here's where I begin. Here's where I begin. Marry all my senses. That's where I begin. It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, show love. Awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune